There's something you've never told anyone. Not your therapist, not your best friend, not the person you trust most. Not because you forgot, because this is the detail that made you believe it was your fault. You've carried it since you were a child, under the shame, under the silence, into every relationship since. And it's this: your body responded during something you didn't ask for, something you couldn't stop, something you were too young to understand. Your body did something automatic, and it felt like something, and that one detail followed you for years. Because it created a question you couldn't answer. If it was wrong, why did my body react? And every time you asked it, you landed on the same conclusion. It must have been my fault. That conclusion is wrong. It was always wrong. And nobody explaining why is one of the quietest cruelties of what happened. And this is only one piece of what that experience built inside you. Because when something like that happens to a child, it doesn't just create shame, it rewires how you see your body, how you trust people, and who you believe is supposed to protect you. We're going to talk about all of that. But first, this. Here's the loop your brain has been running since you were small. And if this is the detail that's haunted you for years, you probably thought you were the only one. You're not. Your brain built a simple rule. Bad things feel bad. Good things feel good. So if your body reacted during something wrong, something confusing, something that wasn't pain, your brain filled in the gap. Maybe it wasn't fully wrong. Maybe I wanted it. Maybe I let it happen. Maybe I'm the one who's twisted. That's the trap. And it's powerful because it sounds like logic. You can tell yourself you were a child. You can tell yourself you didn't understand. You can tell yourself you were scared. But this one detail makes you feel disqualified from your own pain. Like you don't get to call it harm. Like you don't get to call yourself a survivor. Because you think survivors are supposed to feel one thing the whole time. Fear, disgust, nothing else. And if your body did anything else, you started treating that as evidence. So you keep it hidden. You don't bring it up in therapy. You don't Google it. You barely let yourself finish the thought. Because you're terrified that if anyone hears it, they'll think what you've been thinking, that it was your fault. And carrying that alone doesn't stay contained. It shapes how you feel about your body, how you experience intimacy, how you punish yourself without even calling it punishment. So let's talk about it. Clearly, directly, without blaming you for what your nervous system did. Here's what nobody explained. And the reason nobody explained it is simple. Most people don't know this either. Your body can react without your permission. It doesn't ask your brain first. It doesn't wait for consent. It doesn't care what you wanted, especially when you were a child. When certain nerve endings are stimulated, they fire. That's not morality. That's wiring. One researcher, Emily Nagoski, studied this. She found something important. Your body's response and your actual desire are not the same thing. Your body can react even when your mind is terrified, even when you don't want it, even when you're a child who doesn't understand what's happening. She put it simply. If your mouth waters when you bite into a wormy apple, nobody says your mouth said yes. Nobody says you wanted the worm. Your mouth just did what mouths do. Automatic, meaningless, mechanical. Your body did the same thing. It responded to touch. That was all. And there's another layer people almost never hear. The same system that activates when you're afraid can also trigger physical arousal. Fear and arousal come from the same place in the nervous system. So sometimes The very state that proves you were under threat can also trigger a physical response you didn't choose. That's why this is so cruel. You've been using your body's automatic reaction as proof it was your fault. But the reality is the opposite. The fear caused the response. The response didn't cause the desire. There was a child, and a nervous system doing what nervous systems do under threat. Across decades of research, this shows up in survivors of all genders. It's physiological. It's common. And it is not consent. So if that response has been your secret evidence, your body responding does not mean you wanted it. It does not mean you allowed it. It does not mean you liked it. And it was never proof that anything was wrong with you. It means your body was reacting to stimulation and threat the way bodies do, automatically. But nobody told you that. Nobody sat you down and said, your body did something automatic and it doesn't mean what you think it means. So you filled in the blank yourself. And the shame didn't just sit there. It built a whole system around it. It built a wall between you and your body. You learn not to trust it, to disconnect from it. So now you can be with someone safe, someone you chose, and your body reacts and your brain panics. Not because something is wrong with you, because your body's reactions got tied to danger a long time ago. And that panic can go two directions. For some people, it's shutdown. You go numb, you float away, you leave without moving. You're there, but you're not. For others, it's overdrive. You try to stay in control by getting ahead of it, setting the pace, running the script, treating your body like a task you have to manage before it manages you. Different strategies, same route. If my body can react in ways I don't understand, I can't trust it. And it doesn't stop at intimacy. You ignore hunger, you push through exhaustion, you avoid mirrors, you avoid softness. You treat your body like it betrayed you. Because at 7 or 9 or 12, that's the story that made it make sense. But your body didn't betray you. It was a body, inside a situation it never should have been in. Reacting automatically, the way bodies do, under threat. I need you to hear this slowly. Your body's response was not consent. It was not desire. It was not proof you wanted it. And it was never proof that anything was wrong with you. It was biology, reflexes, nerve endings, a nervous system firing during a threat. You have been carrying this detail like it's a confession, like it cancels out everything else, like it's the one thing that makes you complicit. That's the lie shame tells when it doesn't have context. And here's what's also true. A lot of survivors don't talk about this. Not because it didn't happen to them, but because the shame is so intense they'd rather carry it alone than risk being misunderstood. If you felt isolated by this detail, you're not the only one. And it never meant what you were taught to assume it meant. Your body didn't betray you that day. In some ways, it was the only thing still doing what it was designed to do. Trying to survive a situation no child should have to survive. Resolution, 7:50 to end. So try this. Whenever you're ready. No deadline. The next time that shame shows up, the one that lives underneath everything, don't argue with it yet. Just name it. And instead of asking, why did my body do that? Ask, what would I say to a child who asked me that question? Would you tell her it was her fault? Would you tell her she wanted it? Would you tell her she's broken? Or would you tell her the truth? Your body reacted automatically. You didn't choose it. You didn't cause it. You were a child. And none of this was yours to carry. Say that to yourself. Even if you don't believe it yet, because belief comes after repetition. not before. You've spent years punishing your body for something it did without consent, without context, without choice. Your body didn't betray you. It survived with you. It kept you alive. It was never the enemy. It was always on your side. You've named what happened. You faced the shame nobody talks about. But there's one more person in this story you haven't looked at yet. Not the one who hurt you, the one who was supposed to protect you and didn't. That's next.